Hey, we're bringing you a brand new I-Team investigation now. Who makes sure that new laws that impact our kids in their schools are being followed? I never thought about this
either. During our back-to-school coverage this past August, the I-Team discovered nobody at the state was following up on a law about student-athlete safety. And something a lawmaker told us made us want to look a little deeper into the issue. So consumer investigative reporter Cassidy Williams breaks down who is responsible for keeping schools in line with the law.
On the football field, the rules are clear. Break a rule, and there's a set penalty. Like if a lineman moves before the snap, it's 5 yards for a false start. But what happens when a school breaks a rule? For example, if a school does not have an emergency action plan or EAP for athletics, something required by state law.
It's like any other law. I don't know that the state follows up on certain things until something happens, unfortunately.
That was Representative Nicole Claridis-Detria's answer when we asked her about the EAP bill in August. An I-Team investigation found dozens of schools did not have their athletic EAP publicly posted like the law requires.
We wanted to know if it's true that it's common practice for lawmakers to pass a bill that doesn't include any consequences or follow-ups. A search of recent education bills passed, and we found other examples.
Like the law that requires schools to have menstrual products in all bathrooms, or the law mandating schools have a specific plan to address bullying and teen dating violence. Read both bills closely, and there's nothing about how the laws will be monitored or enforced.
How do we know which schools are following the law if no one's checking on them?
So I don't think you would be able to fully say that every district was complying with every single law.
Representative Jeff Curry, a Democrat, spent 10 years on the Education Committee and the last 2 as the co-chair. He says the State Department of Education does not have the capacity to keep track of every mandate. Curry says the responsibility to follow the laws falls on school boards and superintendents.
The final authority and responsibility lasts with the superintendents.
Fran Rabinowitz is the executive director of the Connecticut Association of Public School Superintendents. She explains how each year superintendents are required to sign a statement saying they are following all state laws to the best of their knowledge. And then superintendents answer to their school boards.
We do know that things do fall through the cracks from time to time, and districts are understaffed and are trying their best to focus on student needs.
Patrice McCarthy is the executive director of the Connecticut Association of Boards of Education, or CABE. McCarthy says while many education bills do not outline enforcement, consequences can come in the form of a lawsuit.
They are also very concerned, frankly, about litigation, so that's a strong motivating factor.
McCarthy and Rabinowitz say part of the challenge for districts to follow every law is the sheer amount of them.
How many new laws do you think you have to learn and teach everyone about each year?
We literally monitor hundreds of pieces of legislation.
With the direction of the legislature, CABE helped put together this 50-page list of mandates. It includes all state and federal mandates through the 2022 legislative session. More have been passed since then. And add up the total mandates listed, there are 267.
That really is shocking. I didn't expect it to be so high.
We showed the list of mandates to parents in Glastonbury's Riverfront Park. On a sunny Wednesday afternoon, you'll often find parents and kids here. That's because every Wednesday in the fall and spring, Glastonbury schools have a half day so that teachers can do professional development training that is required by some of those mandates.
That seems very, very difficult to keep track of 267 anythings.
Curry isn't running for re-election, but he hopes the mandate list helps guide lawmakers moving forward.
At one point, we passed that there had to be a Leif Erikson Day celebrated in districts. So it's kind of reevaluating what the legislature sometimes thinks it knows best to see how that's impacting our districts and if they have the ability to actually follow through with what we hope they are.
So when it comes to school laws, the superintendents are kind of like the coaches, in charge of making sure the students are safe and learn the rules of the game. The Association of Superintendents also advocates for rules that focus on the needs of students.
Honestly, Cassidy, I think it is an incredible amount of paperwork.
And when it comes to enforcement, it's often parents that are the referees.
We often find out that a district isn't complying with something, typically through one incident with one parent or one student.
So filing a complaint with the state is like you throwing the flag, and it starts with everyone knowing the rule book.
All right. Well, State Representative Kathleen McCarty, the ranking Republican on the Education Committee, sent us a statement saying that she has for years been a strong advocate for reducing mandates.
You can read it as well as read the entire 50-page list of mandates on our website. Just click on the iTeam tab.
There you go.
There you go.